Science Saves Lives, friends. I am going to walk you through part of a document that was put out by HHS and distributed to Congress about their changes to vaccine. Walk you through one section with some specificity and then look at the citations. We're going to do this all in 5 minutes or less. So if you have any questions and you want to dig deeper, please reach out to me or comment. I always love to do that, but I also want to be respectful of your time and keep the main thing for here. All right, let's get started. This is on the Kaiser Family Foundation website where they posted this document that was distributed to Congress from the HHS. I'm going to go down. It's a Q&A type document about the evidence. As scientists, I want to see the evidence. What's the evidence behind repealing this recommendation? It affects several groups, but I really want to focus on pregnant women because I am concerned that pregnant women are indeed at greater risk of adverse outcomes, as are their newborns, and that vaccination can be protective and it doesn't increase risk. So that's the vision I'm going in with. And so I want to read the report and say, what does it say? It says higher rates of fetal loss before 20 weeks. There's a citation there, preterm birth, citation there, and blood clots, a citation there. All right, let's go ahead and look at those citations down here just quickly. The pregnancy citations start with Velez and then go to Aharon and then Dick. I'm not sure I have them in that order, but we will go through each one, not the same order. So Dick, what did they find in their study of a large cohort of women, some who were vaccinated, some who were not? They conclude SARS-CoV-2 vaccine appears to be safe during pregnancy with no increased risk in incidence in preterm labor and small for gestational age compared to unvaccinated women. You can read it. You can also see the second sentence about something might be going on in second trimester vaccinations. You read the whole article. They talk about this, and their theory is that they didn't really have a lot of risk factors and predictors of preterm birth, and so they weren't able to control for this. Maybe that people who get vaccine in the first trimester also get more prenatal care in the first trimester. So if you're getting your vaccine in the second trimester, you're getting less prenatal care, you have worse outcomes. They don't really know. That's just an example I came up with. But surely it requires more study, but surely it overall is saying that they're not, of a large cohort of pregnant women, they are not seeing any adverse outcomes. And they show this also in a figure. Think of that vertical line. It is, if the dots were on the line, it would mean the vaccinated and the unvaccinated group are essentially identical. When the dots are on the left of the line, it means the women who are vaccinated were less likely to have that outcome. And when they're on the right, more likely to have the outcome. And if it essentially has wide margins around the line, it kind of is a toss-up. We don't have enough precision to make a conclusion. The only one that comes close to that is the first one. And I would say that's maybe, I don't know, 0.75. And so it would say that women, it's actually protective. So people who are vaccinated are only 3/4, 75% as likely to have a small for gestational age infant. Again, not quite statistically significant, and certainly the rest of them aren't, but overall, this is a really reassuring figure. Next one, this is Velez. That was the first one listed, and it concludes, again, vaccination not associated with miscarriage, and talks about how important it is to study pregnant women. And this is the last one, Aharon, and we're going to go down to the conclusion. Administration of COVID-19 vaccines not associated with adverse effects. This was particularly in a cohort of women who got IVF, and this was really early pregnancy outcomes, so things like fetal loss or miscarriage. And again, they talk about how important it is to study these things. So it certainly doesn't match up to the report, the studies that are cited. So why would that happen? I don't have an answer for you. I have a few theories. I always have theories. My first theory is just really sloppy use of AI. Let the AI do it. Don't check it. Always check your AI. And the second is actually that when people see citations and endnotes and footnotes, especially if the topic looks about right, they don't necessarily go and check. They don't know that In this case, all those studies were free to be viewed. There's no paywall, so you could read them for yourself. And it's just really a matter of when you see something, to do your homework before you believe it and to be a savvy consumer of science. And that's what I hope I've helped you do here today, and hopefully in the promised 5 minutes or less. Thanks so much, and see you next week.